Feelings are a part of our minds, not separate. Feelings are self-contained and subjective phenomenal experience. Due to it being subjective, we don't trust our feelings. In our society, we view feelings as an obstruction to a rational thought. Therefore, most of the time, we justify distrusting our feelings, and we seek counsel from others on what we need to do, despite our feelings. Despite this, we follow our feelings anyway, and the results are what our friends usually predict, prompting them to say, "See, I told you so." But yet, by suppressing our feelings, the discomfort of our feelings don't subside. Are feelings and thoughts truly separate? We acknowledge thoughts to be the mind, but not feelings. In fact, feelings too are part of our minds. When we see someone helping another on the street, we may experience a feeling of gladness as we see kindness being expressed. Or when someone speaks harshly to us unnecessarily, we might walk away, unable to stop thinking about it, and causing anger to arise every time we are reminded of being treated unfairly. Feelings arise in these two situations differently. In the first situation, the feeling of gladness arises from our perception. This gladness is felt in our hearts as we perceive kindness, which is also felt in the heart, to bring peace. The same experience takes place in the second situation. Feelings of anger arise spontaneously when the body perceives a harsh sound being directed at it. After the experience, we go away thinking about being spoken to harshly and replay the scenario over and over again and bringing up the feeling of anger and indignation over and over again. The feeling of anger in this case arises from thoughts after the scenario itself. In both situations, feelings seem to arise from both our body awareness and our minds. Feelings have always been a part of our minds, but strangely, we perceive those who act on their feelings, or even those who acknowledge their feelings, to be weak. Some even declare they base their decisions on rationality and data while being kind. But when it comes to having to make a decision between data and kindness, in communication, data often wins and kindness is often put aside. If we were to try to find our minds, we really can't find it. What is the color of the mind? Where is the location of your mind? Can you find your thoughts or your feelings? People often point to their brain when asked where the mind is. We assume our mind and perception to come from our brains. But in the two examples above, all it took was to see and to hear from our body awareness, and feelings arise spontaneously. How we respond rationally then depends on the processes of the brain after experiencing those body sensations. As for our feelings, we feel it in our hearts. If the mind consists of perception, thoughts, and feelings, shouldn't we experience feelings in our brains as well? While most of our sciences are centered on materiality, some scientists are now considering consciousness to not be separate from time and space. Rationally speaking, if we have no consciousness, how can there even be time and space? So, in Eastern religions such as Buddhism, the mind is conscious. And consciousness is part of our entire bodies. Our body feels, while the brain filters our experiences. Rationally speaking, if consciousness only resides in our brain, when someone touches us, shouldn't we be able to feel the sensations immediately in our brain? But where do we feel them? We feel it in our bodies. Many people experience traumatic experiences and anxiety in our society. We seek to heal these feelings by suppressing or distracting ourselves from deeply uncomfortable feelings. Most of the time, we feel threatened by uncomfortable feelings and feel that they affect our minds. Someone shared with me that he heard that itchiness can cause depression. So he meant by excess itchiness from allergies. So feeling itchy from an allergy is an uncomfortable feeling. Not wanting uncomfortable feelings equates to depression, since feelings are part of our minds. We tend to think in boxes. For example, by placing itchiness into one box that belongs to the body, and then it causes a feeling, which again we separate into another box, which is I disliking the itchiness. So the body feeling itchiness is one box, and the feeling of dislike is another box, when actually they are in the same box. Okay, then we create another box that says that that feeling of dislike, the itchiness, causes depression. And that depression affects the mind, which we then again separate into another box. So while our brains function very well logically to help us get through daily life by compartmentalizing things and experiences, our life experience is very different from how our brains think. Since feelings is a part of our minds, it makes no sense to suppress or run away from our mind, which is what we use to experience life itself. Taking medication numbs the mind, which in turn numbs the feelings of feeling alive. And being alive is a totality of our experiences in earth, time, and space. When we are awake, we sense experiences, and even in dreams, our experiences are vivid. So therefore, it makes no sense as well to end our existence in order to remove experiences of the thoughts and the feelings that we dislike. Especially so when consciousness cannot be found, right? We cannot find consciousness on a particular part of our body, so it seems as if consciousness envelops our bodies inside and outside. And consciousness is the experience of existence. Because without consciousness, we don't know sensations of body awareness, thoughts, and feelings. So perhaps existence itself, embedded in consciousness, goes on and on and on and cannot be annihilated even in death. And this observation comes from meditation, when meditators expand their awareness and realize that consciousness cannot be an exclusive function of the brain. To begin healing the mind from states of depression, anxiety, and trauma is to face the mind itself, which is our feelings. Feelings arise from thoughts and perception, which may not reflect present moment reality. Sometimes we suffer trauma in our childhood, such as physical abuse from a parent. When we see similar situations as an adult, that feeling of trauma could return. In this example, the experience is already over. It's in the past. But we hold on to the feelings of trauma, where it hovers over us as an invisible monster. When we practice mindfulness, We learn to become a witness to all our thoughts, feelings, and body consciousness in the present moment. By training the mind to stay in the present moment, mindfulness keeps the mind from going back to the past or into the future to dream up illusory thoughts and feelings. Contrary to popular beliefs, mindfulness is not static. Mindfulness is not formal meditation. It is an active state where we can become a witness to our experiences of the body, thoughts, and feelings, wherever and whenever we want, whether sitting in meditation or walking to the supermarket. The long-term mindfulness practitioner might one day ask himself or herself, who or what are they? What is that witness that is able to witness the thoughts, perception, body consciousness, and feelings? The real purpose of mindfulness practice is paying attention to the witness that reflects the thoughts and feelings that passes by it. The witness is like a mirror, not grasping onto the passing experiences of thoughts and feelings. One might wonder, which one is the mind? Our feelings, perception, and thoughts are fleeting. If our minds are our feelings, thoughts, and perception, it certainly does not provide security because they come and go like dust. From being a daily witness to our body consciousness, thoughts, and feelings, we may find that the silent witness that is aware is the true stability of our experiences. This silent witness cannot exist in the past or the future, but only in the present moment. It doesn't distract or confuse. In fact, this witness is full of compassion of the experiences of the mind, which is often distracted and chaotic. Being the witness to our feelings, we can begin to understand our minds. By understanding the fleeting nature of the mind, we are less and less caught up by the chaos of our experience. We may find less need for outlets of distractions and find ourselves in extended periods where we are happy and contented to just dwell in the peaceful silence that is only accessible in the here and the now.